The story begins with a brutal scene where a lone man is ambushed by a gang of thugs who attempt to kill him. But instead of being overpowered, he swiftly defeats them one after another, his strength and skill leaving no chance for survival. After knocking every attacker to the ground, he takes a calm seat, convinced the danger has passed. Then, out of nowhere, a single gunshot echoes. A bullet strikes him from behind, ending his life instantly. His body is dragged away, the scene meticulously cleaned, every trace of evidence erased, except for one thing, the bullet casing. Left behind, it rolls silently through alleys and streets until it finally reaches the city. The story then shifts to a young college girl named Fumika, who works part-time in a restaurant but secretly aspires to become an online influencer. To chase her dream, she arranges a meeting with a popular social media star named Kadiyama. With hope in her eyes, she tells him she wants to become a content creator like him. But instead of offering advice, Kadiyama shrugs her off, casually pushing her to take some powder. Fumika refuses, she only wants his guidance, not drugs. Yet Kadiyama ignores her, continuing to drink non-stop, and because of him, she even misses her last train. By the time morning arrives, the night feels wasted. Kadiyama has offered nothing useful, just drunken nonsense. Frustrated, Fumika regrets meeting him, even fighting the urge to kick him right there. On her way home, she slips on the stairs and notices something unusual lying before her, a bullet casing. The moment she picks it up, she sees fleeting visions of the gun that fired it. Shocked, she quickly steadies herself, slips the casing into her purse and heads home. Outside her apartment, her best friend Maho waits, saying she can't go back to her own place tonight. Fumika notices the bruise on Maho's face and urges her to leave her abusive boyfriend. The two girls enter together, but as they step inside, Fumika suddenly freezes. She sees a man standing near the door, his body drenched in blood. Terrified, she asks Maho who the man is, but when Maho looks, there's no one there. "What are you talking about?" "Nobody's here," Maho replies. Fumika insists the man is real, describing his bloody appearance. Maho, uneasy, wonders if her friend is hallucinating. Fumika throws an object at the figure, but it passes straight through him. That's when she screams, "Ghost! Ghost!" Even Maho shivers for a moment, unnerved by her friend's panic. She tries to calm Fumika until finally the figure vanishes, leaving Fumika trembling with relief. Just then, Maho receives a message and says she has to leave. Before going, she advises Fumika to see a doctor. Alone again, Fumika closes the door, only to hear the same man's voice behind her, asking softly, was it right to let her go? Startled, Fumika spins around and sees the bloody man again. She panics, fumbling to open the door and escape, but as she stumbles, he grabs her hand to stop her from falling. The moment their skin touches, something terrifying happens. The ghost enters her body. Inside her, the man's voice echoes clearly. Now they can talk to each other, and even share control of her body. Horrified, Fumika demands that he leave her immediately. The ghost, bewildered himself, replies, "This is my first time becoming a ghost. I don't really know how this works." Furious, Fumika shouts back that she doesn't care. She just wants him gone. He finally steps out and she breathes in relief, thanking God that she's alive. But her relief is short-lived. The ghost reappears in front of her, saying that possessing someone wasn't as pleasant as he imagined. Fumika screams and bolts from the apartment. While running, she debates whether to call the police, but every time she tries to escape further than 15 meters, the ghost teleports right back in front of her. Exhausted from running, she turns into an alley where she sees Maho again, this time with her abusive boyfriend. He's demanding money, his behavior threatening and violent. Fumika confronts him, asking what he's doing, but he shouts at her to mind her own business and drags Maho away. Fumika follows quietly, worry in her eyes. The ghost appears again and whispers, "Do you want to punish him?" Fumika trembles but doesn't run this time. He extends his hand saying, "If you want power, take my hand." At first she refuses, terrified of surrendering her body again, but the ghost reminds her of Maho's bruises and pain. "Don't you want to help her?" he asks. Moments later, Maho's boyfriend raises his fist to strike her again. That's the breaking point. Fumika seizes the ghost's hand, and he instantly takes control. When the boyfriend swings at her, she effortlessly catches his arm, twists it, and delivers a crushing punch that knocks him to the ground. But he still doesn't learn. Growling threats, he promises to kill her. Before he can finish, his body collapses, unconscious. The ghost leaves Fumika's body, but suddenly, the man rises again and lunges at her, hands wrapping around her throat. Gasping for breath, she desperately reaches for the ghost's hand, but can't. Just when it seems too late, Maho smashes a rock against her boyfriend's head, saving her life. Shaken, the two friends hold each other up and walk away. Watching, the ghost mutters to Fumika, "You should check if he's still alive. Who tries to kill with bricks?" Fumika ignores him, her eyes locked on the unconscious man. Maho asks softly, "Are you really seeing someone there?" Fumika nods. Yes. The three of them, two frightened girls and one unseen spirit, head to a nearby shop. There, Fumika tells Maho everything. She explains that no one but her can see, hear, or touch the ghost. Maho connects the dots. So, the fighting earlier, that was him. Fumika nods again. Yes, he can control my body. Then she looks at her hand, furious, and yells at the ghost. Look what you've done. In frustration, she searches online for ways to get rid of a ghost. Immediately, she grabs a salt shaker and begins sprinkling it where he's sitting. Embarrassed, Maho quickly stops her. People around the shop are staring. The ghost sighs. I helped you, and you're angry at me? Fumika glares. Then leave. Just go away. But the ghost shakes his head. It's not that easy. Then he points to the bullet casing she picked up earlier, reminding her that it may be the reason he's bound to her. Shocked, she pulls it from her purse and hurls it aside. I didn't know it came from a fired gun, she shouts. The ghost explains that he remembers nothing about his death, except that this casing must belong to the bullet that killed him. That's why, when she picked it up, his spirit latched onto her. Chills run through Fumika as the truth sinks in. This man was murdered. Finally, the ghost reveals his name, Kudo. Before his death, he was a hitman. The revelation shakes Fumika to her core. Kudo tells her he worked for an organization, and it's likely that someone from within betrayed and killed him. Now, until he avenges his death, his soul will not rest. He proposes a plan. Together, they'll hunt down his killers one by one. All she needs to do is help him. But Fumika, overwhelmed, refuses outright. I don't care about revenge, she insists, quickly leaving with Maho. She tells her friend she has no intention of getting involved in a hitman's vendetta. From now on, she'll just ignore him. Kudo mutters bitterly, it would have been better if a soldier had found that casing instead of you. Before parting, Fumika hands Maho an alarm. If that man shows up again, call me. And don't forget to inform the police, she warns. Then, determined to be free, Fumika heads toward a church. Standing at its steps, she throws the casing away, declaring that she doesn't want Kudo in her life anymore. But Kudo's voice lingers, calm yet heavy. It doesn't work that way. Just as Fumika tries to rid herself of Kudo, her phone buzzes. It's a message from Kadiyama, the same social media star who wasted her time before. He's partying again, this time with another influencer named Narumi. Excited, Fumika quickly tells Kudo that Narumi is a famous online personality with more than 70,000 followers, but Kudo stares at Narumi's photo with unease. This guy isn't good, he mutters. Suspicious, Fumika asks, how do you know him? But Kudo shakes his head, frustrated. He can't recall. His memories are fragmented, shrouded in death. Ignoring his warning, Fumika rushes to the bar where Kadiyama and Narumi are drinking. She joins them, eager to connect. But soon, she notices their wandering hands and lecherous smiles. Her head spins. Something isn't right. As she stands to pay and leave, her legs falter. That's when she realizes they spiked her drink. At a nearby table, Kadiyama and Narumi whisper to each other, laughing about how quickly the drug worked. Suddenly, Fumika straightens, glaring at them. She isn't weak anymore. She thanks Kudo for warning her. At that exact moment, fragments of his memory return. He remembers clearly. Narumi and Kadiyama are predators. They buy illicit pills from the same organization Kudo once worked for. Pills used to drug girls. He's seen them there many times. Shaken but furious, Fumika turns to Kudo. If this is true, I'll break their bones. Kudo raises an eyebrow. And how do you plan on doing that? She clenches her fists. By letting you inside. Kudo smirks. Why should I help you? Because after this, I'll help you too, Fumika answers firmly. Satisfied, Kudo agrees. But he warns her. The bartender and the staff are in on it too. Sure enough, the bartender slips something into her glass again. Fumika confronts them boldly. I know you drugged me. Turn yourselves into the police or this won't end well. They burst out laughing. The police? They can't touch us. That's all she needs to hear. She grips Kudo's hand. It's too late to regret now. Narumi mocks her, until suddenly, her body moves like a trained fighter. With Kudo controlling her, she launches into action. In a blur of movement, she takes down Narumi first, then Kadiyama, and finally every staff member who dares intervene. One by one, they fall, beaten with precision and ferocity, but in the chaos, the bartender is killed. When the fight ends, Fumika regains control and breaks down, horrified. Tears stream down her face. What have I done? She cries. Kudo tries to steady her. Don't worry, I won't let you go to jail. These people were evil. They ruined countless girls' lives. Eliminating them isn't wrong. Still trembling, Fumika whispers, Then what now? Kudo answers coldly, Now we erase everything. Call someone who can finish this. He dictates a number. Reluctantly, Fumika dials, saying she knows Kudo and needs help. A short while later, a hitman named Kagara arrives. He scans the carnage and asks where Kudo is. Nervously, Fumika explains that Kudo is now a ghost and only she can see him. But Kagara doesn't believe a word. His eyes harden and he pulls a knife. "You think this is a joke?" He lunges toward her. Kudo panics and quickly takes control of her body, twisting the knife back against Kagara. "You still can't beat me?" Kudo growls through Fumika. Recognizing the voice, Kagara stops in shock. It really is Kudo. Slowly, Fumika repeats Kudo's words to him, and only then does Kagara lower his blade. Without another word, he gets to work. Calmly, he loads the bodies into a car. Fumika watches in silence, sick to her stomach. On the way out, she gathers her courage and asks Kagara about Kudo's death. The man shakes his head. "I don't know much. But a few days ago, our organization's boss died. His son took over, and things changed. Kudo didn't like the new ways. Maybe that's why he was killed. Maybe by the owner himself Kudo listens," his expression dark. Finally, they return to the very place where Kudo once died. Kagara finishes disposing of the bodies, then drops Fumika at her apartment. Before leaving, he asks seriously, "Does Kudo really appear to you?" Fumika nods quietly. Kagara sighs. "Then listen, forget this, and pray we never meet again." Back in her apartment, Fumika exhales deeply, finally able to rest. She turns to the empty air and says softly, "I don't know what would have happened without you. Thank you." Kudo's voice responds gently. "In my old life, I killed countless people, but now, in this strange afterlife, helping you feels good." Fumika looks up, eyes steady. "Then promise me something. In this life after death, you'll stay a hero." There's a pause, then Kudo answers, "I promise." Exhausted, Fumika collapses into bed and falls into a deep sleep. But while she sleeps, far away in the organization's headquarters, the new leader, the son who took over after the boss's death, paces nervously. His greatest fear is that Kudo may not actually be gone. At that very moment, Kagara walks in, asking for a private word. The leader narrows his eyes. "Did you get a call from him?" Kagara doesn't hesitate. "Kudo's ghost has possessed a college girl." The leader bursts out laughing. "A ghost? Possessing a girl? Don't tell me you believe that nonsense," but still, a flicker of doubt crosses his face. To be safe, he orders a handful of hitmen to investigate. Kagara warns him coldly, "Don't send ordinary thugs. None of them will survive." But the leader only smirks, brushing the warning aside. That night, the hitmen surround Fumika's apartment. Inside, Kudo wakes her with urgency. Footsteps. 4 men are coming. The lock clicks. The door bursts open. The first man storms inside, only to freeze when his own gun suddenly turns against him. Kudo, inside Fumika's body, forces him to aim at his comrades. Chaos erupts. Gunfire rattles the walls. Screams echo through the building. Outside, the gang's leader rushes in to find all 4 of his men lying wounded on the floor. Meanwhile, Fumika leaps from the balcony, sprinting into the night with Kudo guiding her. Her frantic steps lead her to a familiar, chilling place, the very spot where Kudo was killed. And waiting there, as if he knew she would come, is Kagara. He admits the unthinkable. He was the one who tipped off the organization about Fumika. Rage surges through her. "Because of you, my apartment is ruined. You fix it!" Kagara raises his gun, but before he can fire, Kudo seizes Fumika's body, disarming him in an instant. She dismantles the gun, tossing the pieces aside. The confrontation erupts into a fight. Kagara manages to grab the weapon again, trying to fire, but Kudo wrests it away once more, turning the barrel back at him. Then, in that tense moment, Kudo's fragmented memories flood back. He stares at Kagara and demands, "It was you, wasn't it?" "You killed me," Kagara's face hardens. Finally, he nods. "Yes, it was me." Kudo's voice shakes with fury. "Why?" Kagara's eyes darken with guilt. He explains that when the new boss took power, many of them resisted, but when Kudo suddenly gave up the rebellion, it all collapsed. The boss ordered Kudo's execution, and Kagara, cornered and helpless, had no choice: obey or be killed himself. Kudo recalls that final moment, how Kagara gave him a chance to escape but he refused. Tired of his bloody life, he told Kagara to finish it. The memory stings. Both men, once bound by loyalty, now broken by regret. Kagara's voice cracks as he admits he too is weary of living like this. Meanwhile, back at headquarters, the arrogant leader fumes. "A mere girl humiliated my best men." His subordinates nervously whisper that her fighting wasn't normal, that she must indeed be possessed by Kudo's spirit. But the boss only slams his fist on the table. "I don't care. Find her. Kill her." Kagara lowers his gun, his voice heavy with warning. "You have to leave this town, girl. They'll never stop hunting you." But Fumika's anger flares. "Why run? Why not kill the owner himself? End the whole organization. Free Kudo once and for all." Kagara shakes his head. The headquarters are too dangerous. Step inside and you'll die. But Fumika refuses to back down. Her voice hardens with determination. Then I'll go myself. They destroyed my apartment, ruined my life. I won't forgive him. She storms away, Kudo's spirit walking beside her. Moments later, headlights cut through the darkness. Kagara's car pulls up. He sighs, resigned. If you insist on throwing your life away, then I'm coming too. The unlikely trio sets out together. When they reach the organization's compound, Kagara slips inside first to scout. Meanwhile, Fumika and Kudo head toward the weapons stash, arming themselves with everything they can carry. They regroup with Kagara and without hesitation, Kudo merges into Fumika's body. The assault begins. Gunfire explodes in every direction. Fumika, powered by Kudo's lethal precision, becomes an unstoppable force. She moves like a machine, dodging bullets, returning fire, striking down enemy after enemy. Kagara backs her up, shooting with deadly accuracy. The compound becomes a battlefield. By the end, nearly everyone lies dead. Only the boss remains. Wounded and cornered, the arrogant leader collapses onto his knees. Kudo fires into both his legs, forcing him to bow. Fumika steps forward, breathing heavily, and demands, "You're going to pay for my apartment." The boss glares up at her, face twisted in rage. "Your apartment? You've destroyed my entire empire." But Fumika's words carry a deeper meaning. It was never about an apartment. It was about setting Kudo free. The boss continues to snarl until Kagara steps in and ends it with a single shot. The tyrant falls, lifeless, and silence fills the room. Fumika's body trembles. Bruised, bloodied, she limps toward the exit. Relief mixes with pain as she whispers her thanks to Kudo. But when she turns to look for him, he is gone. Her chest tightens. Maybe he's finally free, she murmurs. Kagara studies her expression and for the first time smiles faintly. Good. He deserved peace. He promises her he'll cover the costs of her destroyed apartment, then adds, "And from today on, we never meet again." Fumika nods gratefully, then heads home alone. Days pass. One afternoon, as she climbs the familiar staircase to her apartment, something metallic catches her eye. Resting there, waiting for her, is the same bullet casing, the one that started it all. She picks it up slowly. A small smile spreads across her face. Maybe, just maybe, one day, Kudo will return.